In part 2 of Knowing versus Executing this week, we're going to talk about the consequences of being wrong and that weight we carry, as well as just the role experience can play in helping us reach our goals. So this week, we're going to wrap up the knowledge versus execution again for those of you who may have missed last week's commentary. Great book, Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, where he talks about knowing what to do and knowing what's going to go on in your mind when you go to do it. Two different things. We talked about the role that fear and greed can play last week. This week, we're going to talk about the role of experience and the consequences of being wrong. When it comes to experience, again, I think a lot of people make a mistake by only looking at one or two of the variables. Sure, maybe you've gone through a tough market. You've had a loss in a stock you picked. That certainly has some bearing on helping you learn and grow in the future. But what's missed again is a lot of the other variables that are constantly changing. I'll share one quick story. A prospect turned client here of late who was sharing, hey, I just help me understand the role, the value proposition, et cetera. He's like, I know how to go through tough markets, was a part of the conversation. And I've gone through them. I remember in 2008 and this happened and that happened. And I pointed out a couple things to him. I said, well, how much money did you have in 2008? 100 grand. How much money do you have today? A few million bucks. Do you not think that losing 50 grand would feel a lot different than losing 1.5 million? And he's like, yeah, that's probably true. And you're on the verge of retirement. Yeah, no, that's true too. Income investing aside, again, just some of those things, realities that were going to help make him more risk averse that again, he hadn't quite worked through. One of the blessings we get to have here as advisors is, like any of us, we're only living one life, but slight nuance again to being an advisor is, especially the way we do it here at 10 Capital, getting to know our clients. What are their goals? What are their whys behind their goals? Staying in such close relationship is we get to start to live, by extension, a lot of different lives. We get a lot of at-bats, to use the sports analogy, in terms of confronting certain situations and realities, retirements, loss, diminished capacity, whatever the case may be, and use that knowledge base to, again, bring to bear for clients. You've heard me say one of the best gifts we have to give to our clients is our other clients. That certainly can mean meeting a new friend at an event, but a lot of times it's the insights that we've literally just been taught and learned from clients, or the experiences shared in walking alongside of them that, again, we can bring to bear that may be a new reality for a lot of people. How it feels before retirement, I've seen it 1,000 times, super exciting. What it feels is you're walking across that line and realizing you don't have a paycheck anymore, a little nerve-wracking. Do you know how to walk through that both mathematically and again emotionally? And for us here at 10, it's something that we do all the time. The second point is just the consequences of being wrong. This isn't just about something bad happening. It could just be what's required again to make it right. One of my favorite quotes is, you're gonna want a partner when the consequences of being wrong or the time to be right get great enough. It's something I've certainly found true in my own life. I think it applies to a lot of different walks of life, and certainly as a partner, something we wanna make sure we're doing and doing well for our clients here at 10 Capital. I see this again manifest all the time, much maybe like a new reality, but it's in a different way and in terms of its gravity. This usually appears in the form of the big 401k rollover check or the liquidity proceeds that hit the bank account. And people, and I'm telling you again, people, we work with a lot of finance industry professionals here at 10 Capital who they know what to do. They know they shouldn't just let it sit there, but hitting that button, doing that trade, getting that allocation built, whatever the case is, that weight is just too much. I mentioned last week, Sam and Frodo. A moment ago to Matt, I said Froyo, but that burden gets great, and you're gonna want a partner to help come alongside and make sure that, again, you're doing things right, you're staying accountable, you're bridging that gap between knowledge and execution. And that's something that we do and do all the time here at 10 Capital. When you've got that plan, when you've got that partner, doing what you know to be right just goes that much easier. Here are some just quick consequences we hear time and time again here at 10 Capital from people who say, this is why we're here. And I think perhaps most pressing, the ones that came to mind are most importantly from people who, again, are finance or industry professionals themselves, who as much as anyone, would have the knowledge who still want to have a partner. Why? Here's some of the four top reasons. One, time. Like whether they're still busy professionals or whether they're wanting to head into retirement or post-liquidity event and just be able to enjoy their time, their family that they worked so hard for. They want someone else helping them and that they can know is standing guard, watching over their family and their finances when they're off having fun. Number two is just the diminished mental capacity that to some degree happens to all of us, but can obviously go to extremes, not wanting to, again, not have that check, that accountability, someone that can hold you. It's a reason we tell people, even with working with industry professionals, man, make sure you're working with somebody who's within a team that's holding them accountable and watching over what they're doing, whether that's just an intense struggle for a moment in life, perhaps age and some of the things that come with that. Number three is someone besides themselves to make sure that their spouse and family is taken care of if something ever happens to them. That peace of mind. Again, this is not calling that event into reality, but all those days that you get to enjoy with your family knowing, hey, this is addressed, this is taken care of as part of the overall plan. Lastly is making it versus maximizing it. People understanding, again, yeah, I could do it, but by using people with different areas of focus, different talents, different experience, bringing them into the fold is going to help maximize one's resources, really making sure each of those different aspects, again, are being addressed. In summary, this is a tough journey. There's a lot of tough math. There's a lot of even harder emotions that go in to being a successful investor. We're no different here at 10. From the day one, we've talked about having a culture of accountability internally to who we want to be individually, collectively as a firm, bringing external partners with an array of expertise, staying in our lane is something you've probably heard me say a lot of time. There are just things that we don't know how to do as well as they should be done, getting those people in. And so partnership is something not that we just talk, but try to walk. And for those of you who have chosen to walk with us in that regard, again, we thank you so much. To use the analogy I used last week, we can be the Sam to your froyo, come alongside you, help you on this journey, help you when that load just seems too much to bear.